Welcome to She Says with your host, Stephanie Regalado. She Says guests share stories from their challenges to successes and, most importantly, the journey of womanhood woven alongside the collaboration of sisterhood. From self, love, friends and family, to hot topics, career, and world views, Stephanie and her guests discuss matters with utmost openness and honesty. So let's hear what she says. Here's Stephanie.
Hello, welcome to She Says, and a very, very happy International Women's Day. Today, March 8th, if you're watching, and happy International Women's every day if you watch beyond today, March 8th. I'm super excited because this is all new to me to have Rebecca Cook as a guest. Rebecca, you have Thundering Kitten
Productions
is
my little company.
Your company. And you're involved with the Spokane Women in Film and Television.
Yes.
The acronym is SWIFT.
Yes.
I'm glad we saw each other on the way in, and I wasn't sure if I should admit that I wasn't quite familiar with it yet, right. But I was happy to hear you tell me that you're fairly new. How long have you been SWIFT?
SWIFT, in its current incarnation, I should say, really November was when we made our big announcement.
Okay.
And we're starting with a project and growing into an organization. So we're kind of doing things backwards right now. But but it just needed to happen. And I needed to stop trying to figure out how to do it right and do it perfectly and just do it.
Yes, I love that.
Here we are now. So thank you for letting us be more known.
Well, I know. I think we all need to know more. But so let's go back to Thundering Kitten Productions. What is? That's right, production. I got it.
Well, it's just it's almost more of a brand than a company at this point.
Yeah.
I do some independent contracted work, and I do a lot of short films. I love the local film competitions. In fact, we just won. There's some excitement.
If you heard that in the background, there's some sort of excitement going on in the building, and I really do have a fear of missing out right now.
I don't know what's happening.
So you and I need to pump up our energy.
Yeah! Woo!
Exactly.
Well, we actually
wasn't there a 50-hour slam or something? No,
we do the 50-hour slam every year, but I actually just won the first night film competition they had.
Oh, you just won it?
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's very exciting. So
that's so cool. What was your film about that you won?
It was called Escaping Christmas, and it was a really cute little family-friendly Christmas story about these two sisters who are trying to escape their parents who are going through a really rough time. So they book their Christmas time at this sort of magical little castle, and it turns out Santa Claus is there, and he doesn't want to do Christmas anymore because people have become so cynical, and they have to convince him to be Santa again.
Oh, that's I love that twist.
So yeah, spoiler
So did
alert.
you write the?
I did not. I directed and produced. I'm one of those strange filmmakers who, rather than do it all myself, I want to surround myself with good, smart people and not get in their way.
Is that a strange thing? In filmmaking?
Around here, it kind of is, actually. I have a couple of male friends of mine who sat me down one time because we were all participating in a competition, and they're like, you need to edit, you need to write, you need to do it all yourself. It's going to make you such a stronger director. And I'm like, I've done that all in different points, but I don't like to do it all at once. I come from, my first big film experience was $1 million Cuba Gooding Jr. film. And so I come from this big world of everyone has their job and that's what you do. So when I started doing smaller films, I have to dial back down and, I'll do the 3 jobs.
Well, that's funny. And sometimes I see that when you're starting off earlier in your career. I'm thinking back in my writing career of how I was just so eager to be on the masthead and so eager to be credited and so eager to have an idea and be credited for the idea. And it's just such a relief after you've been in it for a while and you've done the masthead, you've done the big things, you've done little things, and you realize that life is still really the same no matter what. There's just these little ups and downs along the way, but it's not nothing really earth-shattering happened to me in my life. They're just little personal goals that happen, but now you can be much more comfortable understanding what you're best at and how you can collaborate and bringing in other talent, and because we are, every project is so much better the more vested voices that we have in it. So that's so cool that you've gotten that.
That's who I come from a theater background, so I think, it's such a collaborative art form.
Yeah.
I need that. That makes me a better person, better director, better producer. So.
You told me you were starting to tell me how you named your company. I just can't let it go. Thundering Production is cute. So.
Yeah, it's great. When you're trying to name a company, there's so many things out there. You want something that'll stick. And I'm sort of known for being a cat lover. And
should we disclose how many cats?
I only have one currently.
Oh, okay. So we're still
it's
still
socially not in the crazy realm. Although someone said to me the other day, "How many cats do you have?" I'm like 6. I'm like, no, I literally only have one, but the perception is out there, and I'm fine with that. It's cool. I do some feral cat rescue sometimes, so occasionally there'll be more at the house, but only one who gets to be there permanently for now. But anyway, when I bought my house, I built a recording studio in the basement because I do audio voiceover work and narrate audiobooks, and it didn't occur to me to reinforce the ceiling with soundproofing because I live alone, but I had 2 kittens at the time, my girl and her brother, and I have wood floors, and right above the studio is my dining room, and every so often I would have to stop and wait because they'd be running across the floor, and I was just like, just waiting for the thundering kittens to be done because it sounds so loud. So thundering kittens,
that's hilarious. This is off subject. My laundry room is in the basement, and we have wood floors. So my little dogs can't go down the staircase that goes down to the downstairs. But when I leave their sight, they panic. So it's the funniest thing is all I hear. I just have 2 little dogs, but they're just rushing back and forth and all over these little feet the whole time. Like, oh, if their little hearts are going to survive at this time. But I totally get that sound.
Yeah.
So funny. And when you're recording audiobooks, you just need to make sure your work is clear and then pause so that can be edited out. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I do all my own engineering and editing. I just sit there and wait. And, you can look at the waveform on the screen of the tiny little bumps. So I have a whole file of thundering kittens.
Cute. Who knows what you can do with that in the future?
Good point. It's been sitting there for so long. I have no idea what to do with it.
Okay, so you are not a one-woman show, as you were saying, in anything that you do, aside from sitting in your recording studio, the kitties are learning about. But Swift involves other. Can you explain who else is involved with Swift and their roles?
So I'll back up just a little bit. Okay. About 4 years ago, I tried to start Swift, and I invited about 9 of my female filmmaking friends in Spokane, and we had about 2 meetings, and the concept was to be to do 2 projects a year. We'd do one narrative passion project and one PSA or web video for local nonprofit. So, because I'm a big community person, I always want to be giving back because I feel like I've gotten so much from the Spokane community. So anyway, that was the concept. We would be, both, passionate filmmakers and good community members. Perfect. But about 2 meetings in, I and about half of the women on Swift landed jobs on Z Nation season 1, and so that's
as zombies.
No, as crew members. So I was the wardrobe supervisor.
Why can't I? This is really good for us to have this discussion because so often we feel about women in film or anyone in film being on the talent side, talent as an actor side versus the production side of it.
Yeah, no.
And so my mind keeps breaking into.
Boom, we're going to blast that away.
Please blast it out of my head and anyone else's. Well, and when you were saying you invited 9 of your women friends who are in film in Spokane, this is just a sector of our community I'm not even aware of. I had no idea there was more than one.
Oh, it gets better.
Good. So, I'll let you just keep telling me.
So I'm a storyteller.
Please.
So we anyway, we were Z Nation it's intense. It's whole life when we're working on the season, because I've worked on all 4 seasons, and I'm coming back for season 5. So
excellent.
Anyway, it's hard to get a lot done, and starting in this new group and launching it just wasn't viable at the time. But I started doing more of the film competitions like 50 Hour Slam, and I realized, like, I'm sitting on a film set one day and half of the crew was women, and I was like so excited, because that's never happened for me in the professional film working world. You know, I've never even been close to that. What will it be like to do all women on a film set? So I tried for the 50 Hour Slam one year and failed. And then I said, okay, I need to make a concerted effort to get to know women in this community beyond the ones I work with on films. And so I've been working at that for like the last 3 years, just to get to know more women in film. And on our current project, so the Swift Mentoring Project is a short film we're making. I have 38 female film professionals. Wow. And then, because that wasn't enough, we invited amateurs to apply to basically job shadow our amateurs, our professionals. So we've got 20 amateurs and 38 film professionals and 9 actresses and hopefully 103 extras.
Well, that's how it really came to my attention. You sent out a press release calling for extras. Have you been receiving luck from that?
Yeah, last time I checked, and this was about 2 days ago, we were up to about 65. We're hoping for 100.
Wow, and what is the cutoff date for that?
March 12th.
Oh, so we still have time.
So, check out.
And we can add, what is the best, is there a website?
We're on Facebook. That's where we are right now, So if you look for Spokane Women in Film and Television on Facebook, you'll find us.
And they'll find us, and people can apply to be an extra?
Yeah, there's a form right on our site there.
I love that. So we're going to take a mini break, and we'll be back with more. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy, enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
They both did. Welcome back to She Says. I have Rebecca Cook with the Spokane, I am not going to get it right. Oh, no,
Swift.
It's right. Spokane Women in Film and Television. Swift.
Naming things is hard.
Being me is hard, apparently. So I'm sorry, it's not you. It's just always me. I was thinking about your work with Z Nation, and after, I'm not sure if it was after, I'm assuming it was after season 1 or so, early on, when the 2 main actors left, and then there were some disparaging comments about Spokane that lit us all on fire.
Yeah, that was season 2.
Okay.
And one of the main actors, who I think at that point he'd been killed off, and then one of our lead actresses, Kalita Smith, they were down in LA doing an interview.
Yeah.
And Michael was just trying to say, you know, like, you can buy property in Spokane for peanuts. And people took that very badly. And having worked with him and knowing him, I don't think he intended any offense by that. Yeah. But compared to LA, I mean, we do have a huge influx of people. Even our crew base, they come up here and realize, I mean, what a fantastic little gem Spokane is, and they buy property here. There's more people own property than you know.
Oh yeah, I hear about that. The whisperings.
Yeah.
I think. But he also made a
Kalita,
comment. Oh, someone made a comment about it being the perfect place to film it because
that was Kalita. So she is. Yeah. She has since made many apologies. I will say she did her best to make reparations with the crew after those comments because she realized. She did stand-up comedy for a lot of years, and so she had been. I'll just say she'd been on a plane overnight to make it to that interview and hadn't slept because we kept her filming late the night before. Yeah. So I don't think she was using her best judgment. She has since said she was not. But yeah, she's a city girl. She's used to a lot of creature comforts, and to come to Spokane, and we're filming in, like the old Kaiser that has not been touched in years. We are very apocalypse ready, and that's what she sees. In those, that's the side of Spokane that she sees, So it was unfortunate. And
is she still on the show?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming at this point she's been plugged into other fantastic areas of our our city.
She has a lot of favorite restaurants and hot spots that she's started to enjoy more. But she's definitely, she's an LA girl, and there's there's New York people, there's LA people, there's and there's Pacific Northwesterners.
Yes.
The one comment I get from, I've worked on like 25 feature films. I've worked with Antonio Banderas and Jessica Biel and, all the stars that come through.
Yeah.
And the one thing I consistently hear from so many of them is like, Spokane is just so nice. Like, everyone's here is so nice. And I feel like it's genuine. It's not LA nice. I'm like, yeah.
Until you say something negative about us.
Right? I said, but we stick together.
Yes, we do. We're fiercely protective of our niceness and each other and what makes our community so magical.
Yeah.
That may not be able to be seen by the city slickers, but we're okay.
If you aren't polite back, you will hear about
it. Exactly. Thank you for clearing the air on that.
Of course.
It's just like any story. You hear something, it implants a little worm in your head, and then you never hear the follow-up to clear the air. Well,
I remember watching it, and I got pissed off. I mean, I said my piece to her about it, and she apologized. What else can you do? I mean, you cannot do it in the first place, but that ship sailed. So.
Right. Note to so many of you watching right now. Truly, the best method is don't do it in the first place.
Right.
But I guess things happen and we make bad judgments, and then we have to come clean about it and be apologetic and show a different path forward. Yeah. This is like a recurring theme lately for humans.
Oh, isn't it? But wouldn't it be nice if everyone apologized for the stupid things they say live?
Because we all do, and do. We all have all this stuff, of course. Yeah. But, I think we're just being honest with people and admitting that you're right.
Yeah, I remember hearing this comedian when I was younger, and he was talking about, having this horrible bad day, and all these horrible things happened, and he's on the side of the freeway in LA, and his car's broken down, and this surfer guy, or skateboarding guy, rides by, and he's like, acknowledge and move on. And it's like, well, that's like the best thing I ever heard. Like, just acknowledge and move on. And that's kind of like my quote for life. Just acknowledge it and move on.
I love that. We can learn a lot from the skateboarders and the surfers.
Right?
I prefer surfing because that's like the ocean, and that's where I just want to be right now. That's where we struggle. How long have you been a Spokaneite?
Since I was 3, so 39 years.
Have you ever thought about
I should say for 5 months I was in Seattle. Straight out of college. Yeah, I got a job over there. And my degree's in theater. I got it at Eastern, and I thought, I needed to move to the big city. And I had a job offer, and I was there living with my sister. And oh my God, I mean, the one thing I learned was I'm a Spokaneite.
Yeah.
I love Spokane, and this is where I need to be. So I've been really lucky to build an amazing career here.
That's awesome.
So this is where I'm meant to be, and I'm very happy to be here.
Well, and it's so cool that we have you here. You were saying that there are competitions coming up?
Oh, yeah.
that anyone can get involved in?
Yeah, if you're interested in film, the 50-hour slam is the biggest timed film competition in Spokane. So it's March 23rd and 24th, I believe.
Okay.
But you get like Friday night, they give you your criteria. You go, you write the script, you shoot the whole thing, you edit it, you turn it in Sunday night. So it's 50 hours to make a short film that's,
wow.
I think, 5 to 7 minutes long.
Do people sleep in that time period? When
I
involved?
do. Some people
You do?
don't. My teams, I'm like, no, we're sleeping. I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
But no, some of the teams, there's a lot of high school kids. I mean, it's open to all levels.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's
Does it
kinda
cost to be a
amazing.
part of it?
Nope. It's all free.
Oh.
And if you don't participate, the screening they do in May is just like a magical time. Everybody comes out, and people are so supportive. You know, like it's a film competition, and there'll be like 50 teams competing, but, you know, we're all out there, and we have some similar criteria, so maybe trying to shoot shots of some iconic Spokane landmark or something, but
Working
people
around
are
each
just
other.
so, yeah, people are just so respectful and kind, and I mean, we smack talk on Facebook, don't get me wrong. It's already
Good,
started.
so it's healthy. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. But that's a great one. Clinks does one in June out at Clinks Resort at Williams Lake. It's really fun. There's cash prizes for that one.
Wow.
And then Hit the Trail Productions has started. They just launched a horror competition that you have several months to complete, and it's due in October, I think.
Wow.
And they're the ones who just ran the first night competition. We're not sure where that's going to be since first night has sadly dissolved.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you guys list all of these things on your Facebook page?
Just
Sharing different competitions and
we will, yeah.
that'd be a great
honestly,
resource for
Spokane
people.
Film Project is. I'm also a board member of that.
Okay.
The Spokane Film Project has been around for several years, and we're like a networking hub.
Okay.
So anything you want to find out about film projects in Spokane, the Spokane Film Project page is really where I would send you. Swift, we're pretty focused on what's happening with women in film right now. So
Okay. And you said you're also involved with the labor union. What does that look like?
Oh, yeah. So IATSE
filmmakers?
is the labor union for all of the professional film crews that work internationally, actually.
Oh, wow.
And then there's different locals. And for Washington and Oregon, for the majority of the film crews, it's Local 488. And I'm actually the only board member from Spokane. So I get to represent what we call the Wild East. We're kind of the cowboys compared to Portland and Seattle. But yeah, it's been amazing to get to represent Spokane film crews, first of all, but also to educate myself so much about labor, and right now with the current administration, all the hurdles we face, because it's not labor friendly out there right now, but we're fighting, you know, for workers' benefits and rights and all that. So
well, and there's so much mixed feelings about unions. Labor, any kind of union.
Yeah, and depending on what union you belong to, like IATSE, we're big on on-set safety, and you know, there's a lot of independent contracting in our business, which means people don't get their benefits, you know, medical benefits and things like that are so important, saving for retirement. And so we're, you know, I think our union is a really strong and important one. We've made a lot of strides in on-set safety. Now SAG and the Stuntmen's Union are working hard to come back on board with that, because there's been a lot of turmoil there lately. But anyway, I could go deep into the weeds on all that.
Yes, it could be an entire show all on its own, I'm sure. So for your own life, how do you feel? Obviously, you're involved in this, and this is important to you, involving women and these other women in your industry. What do you feel your role is as a woman, as you reflect on this day, International Women's Day, for other women?
You know, I've learned two really important things throughout this process. And one has been, of the professional women, I actually had to talk several of them into it, because they've never been in lead positions on these. And, you know, they're women who've worked as long as I have in the industry. And then these amateurs, there have been a lot of them who are women who want to do these things in film, but they've never seen a woman do it. So I think it's right now I need to empower these women. That's I've been lucky enough to be supported and confident and successful. So if I don't drag other people along with me, what good is it? So
Exactly. Well, I think it's important in any creative field to show that women that's why I reflect upon my journey. And there was a whole lot of just seeing opportunity and going forward, or pitching opportunity for myself to another entity, and going for it, and realizing, my friends and I were just talking this is a silly analogy, but it's the whole like stream thing, but I really have to visualize that sometimes, just being the water that's running through my life. And when there's a big boulder that comes along, just whoosh. It's like what was that? I have to write it down, the skateboarder thing.
Acknowledge and move on.
Acknowledge and move on. And even in that acknowledgement, it's just like a blip and move on. It's just like a minor correction.
Yeah.
And your pathway and continuing on. So I love that you are forging. And really one of my favorite things you've said, and I think anyone has ever said, is instead of sitting about waiting until you get it perfect or exactly know how it's going to go, you just started doing it.
Yeah, that's what I had to force myself to do. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing in Spokane. I'm super excited to see more of it and hear more about it and bring it to the light of day on a much larger level.
Awesome. Thank you.
One last question. It's one of my favorite questions. If your life was a snow globe, as it is right now, to this point, and you could pick it up and shake it and have it all kind of fall down in a different way, would you choose to do that, A? And B, if you did choose to do it, what would be different?
Oh, gosh. I don't think I would. I mean, if I did, it would just be to see what happens next. I'm such a, like
a choose your own adventure book.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But I'm pretty good with where I'm at right now. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's a disappointing answer.
No, it is. Actually, there's something to be said about peace and harmony in your own life. You have to be like me, wake up every day and say, I'm shaking the globe again.
I feel like the globe is never really settled, I guess.
No,
There's
right,
so much going on.
It's so true.
If I shook it, I'd be saying yes to more things. I need to stop doing that.
Well, I think I need to follow you around more. Well, thank you so much. Rebecca, I'm really honored to get to know you and to see where all this goes. And we will put we'll have a description on this video on Facebook after this. And since you don't have a website, maybe I'll note the Facebook page or something.
If you could,
or share it within comments.
That would be wonderful.
Okay. Excellent.
We'll be sharing this all over our page. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching She Says today. And truly happy International Women's Day. I'm choking up a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Hug all the women in your life and tell them that they're important to you and you support them and stand up and alongside them in the rising up of all of us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.
She Says is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content.